Welcome to the Attic Manadad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena. But wait, you're showing Arena, and this is the Metagame Mondays. Every Monday we go through the metagame on Arena and also on Magic Online and in paper when I can be arsed to do it. And here's the thing. The big news, it was kind of last week. I've been really busy. I got some work that's keeping me busy. I did not get to release as many videos last week as I wanted. Probably going to be the same this week. The week after that, hopefully back to your regularly scheduled programming. But I didn't want to miss Meta Mondays. The big news, the big headline for me is that Pioneer, they've replaced Explorer with Pioneer on Arena, and there is right now and for the next about 2 days a Pioneer showcase where you can play, and they've added some cards. So let's take a look at this announcement really briefly. In 2022 introduced Explorer as a true to tabletop, and out of 411 distinct competitive Magic Online deck lists, Explorer was only missing 7 cards, and so here they've added cards that they thought were still missing, and they're like, that's good enough, we're calling it Pioneer now. And you're thinking, okay, but there's like, what if a card becomes relevant in the future? And apparently their plan is, where is it? Continue to monitor, and as new cards become relevant, bring them to MTG Arena at a sustainable cadence. We expect this to happen about once or twice a year. So I think there must be something with like scanning the art, because I think a lot of these cards should go in automatically the way they program the cards. Although maybe there's a whole testing process for every card just to be sure. Hopefully there is. Sometimes things seem to get through, and you wonder if there's a testing process. But anyways, so yeah, it's about the Pioneer Showcase event. And that came out right after we did last week's announcement. But now we're a couple days into having Pioneer on Arena. So we'll take a look at the data for that right now. Oh, yeah, no, we're in Chrome. Okay. So well, let's start with standard, best of one. Azorius Omniscience, we've talked about it the last couple of weeks, always has a great win rate, beating mono red aggro right now, beating Rakdos aggro, what they call Rakdos aggro. It's really just another flavor of mono red. Selesnya Auras, that's interesting that that's up so high in win rate. Let's click and see what a deck list is for that. I pay for this untapped.gg data and share it with you every Monday. If you'd like to chip in, become a member on the channel. I make it as cheap as YouTube allows, and it would help pay for the data if you feel so inclined, and it is not a financial hardship. Okay, so that's what that is. It looks like just Optimistic, Scavenger, Toadschool, and Mire, kind of, and the Honor Guard and Calyx, kind of a budget deck. So that might be a fun one to revisit. I don't think there's any new cards that have made it. Somebody's just been having a lot of success with that in the metagame. So keep an eye out for what they're calling Selesnya Auras. I would call it more of a Bogles deck, but that's good. So in terms of popularity, mono red aggro is actually eclipsed in the last couple of days. Is it prowess? It looks like Azorius Omniscience, though, finally up there at number 3. You'd think it would be number 1 with the win rate, but it must be. It is a hard deck to craft, and it has kind of goes back and forth here with mono red in terms of the winningest decks. In terms of, let's see, Rakdos aggro had a dip and is surging, but that's just really a mono red aggro flavor. Mono black mid range is falling in win rate right now, so maybe not the best time for the metagame to play your mono black mid range. In terms of best of 3, Omniscience also on top. Is it prowess also most popular? Mono black mid range is high in popularity, as is Jeskai Oculus and Jeskai Control. Of course, Jeskai Control won in Minneapolis 2 weekends ago, so we've probably going to see a surge coming out of there. Let's see. In terms of popularity, yeah, Jeskai Control. So it was pretty popular coming out of into the beginning of the month there, and then people have played it and they find it either tedious to play. Maybe it doesn't rank up that quickly, I suspect. I was working on a video of it, but I just have been too busy this week. But maybe if there is demand, if you would want to see me play Jeskai Control, I know a lot of other channels have already covered it. But let me know. So, Pioneer, no longer an Explorer. Best of 3, is it Phoenix is the most popular, followed by Mono Black Midrange, Mono Red Aggro. In terms of win rate, Mono Red Aggro, Mono Green Devotion, Mono White Devotion. So I tried playing Mono Red Aggro in the challenge, whatever they're calling it. What are they calling it? The Pioneer Showcase. I only played one round so far, but I ran up against the Angels deck and it just absolutely crushed Mono Red. So I don't see the Angels anywhere on here, but Pioneer Angels is still out there anecdotally, and looks like that we're not getting any data yet. Looks like Untap.gg needs to update their info, because none of this interesting. They need to like port over their Explorer data. It's like just showing Explorer and then dropping off a cliff. Interesting. All right. Well, let's take a look at what they think for best of 1. It does seem to have Mono Red Aggro data somehow. Interesting. Okay. Well, Selesnya Auras and Abzan Greasefang, Mono White Humans. Selesnya Angels is there in popularity in the best of 1. A lot of people playing Rakdos because Rakdos Charm just got added. I think that's among the stronger of those cards I panned down through at the beginning of the video. Okay, Pioneer best of 1. Let's look at Alchemy best of 1. Azorius Flyers, Is It Otters, Orzhov Pixie, Mono White Life Gain, and Mono White Cats, all with above 60% or, well, 60% or above win rate. Otters is the most popular, followed half the popularity, Boros Mobilize and Mardu Midrange, less than half. Don't usually have a lot in best of 3, and that is the case again. And let's check in Historic. Best of 1, Boros Auras, Boros Energy, 4-color Samwise, Mardu Sacrifice, 4-color Reanimator, Simic Eldrazi, all with 60% or above win rates. Again, it's looking like these other, the alchemy-based formats are the ones where you can get the higher win rates. But not good for training for paper. Popularity today, well, not as good, I would say. Mono Green Elves, #1 in popularity, followed by Is It Wizards, Boros Energy, 4-color Omni Woodlands, Boros Auras, and then far, far behind, Simic Eldrazi, Mono White Life Gain, 4-color Samwise. We can pan down on the data in case you want to see. Boros Auras, Boros Energy are like almost identical colors here. The color blindness test here. If you see these as 2 different colored, distinct colors of pink or salmon, let me know. All right, and best of 3, probably not going to have a ton. Certainly don't. Boros Auras leading both categories there. In Timeless, nothing in best of 3. Best of 1. Come on. It's cranking.
I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you.
And 5-color Reanimator, far and away the most popular. But Mardu Energy actually is winning. Boros Energy has taken a dive in win rate, looks like, just recently. Yeah, Mardu Energy pretty steady. So Mardu Energy looks like the deck to be playing this week in Timeless, based on the data. And in Brawl, we've got Ugin Eye of Storms is the highest win rate, followed by Ureni of the Unwritten, Bristly Bill Spinesower, Ketramos, Elspeth. In terms of popularity, Kotis still #1 in popularity, almost double the popularity of Ugin Eye of Storms, which is #2, and Tiamat, which is #3. Ureni of the Unwritten is interesting. Maybe should make a deck of that. It's like just, Teamer Rampant to Big Dragon, I think, is what that deck usually is. Okay, so let's take a look at the MTG Goldfish metagame. They're drawing their data mostly from Magic Online, but also they sometimes get some paper tournaments mixed in here. Looks like there was a China Open Regional Championship won by Azorius Omniscience on the 10th. So they put Izzet Prowess at 24% of the metagame, Jeskai Oculus at 11.2%, Mono Red Aggro at 9%, Jeskai Control at 6%, Esper Self Bounce at 5.7%, followed by Zur, Azorius Omniscience, Dimir Midrange, Orzhov Self Bounce, Azorius Control, Mono Black Midrange, Gruul Prowess, Gruul Gary Midrange, Gruul Aggro, and Jeskai Omniscience combo, which I'm not sure how that's that much different from the Jeskai Control. I guess it is. Okay, so that's that. And in Modern, Boros Energy still far and away on top. We kind of knew that was going to happen when the bans happened. Looks like there have been a number of decks getting 5-0s in the recent leagues, though, so it's not necessarily all energy all the way down. Oh, good mix there. And then Pioneer, this is the one to study if you're trying to find some deck lists now to build on Arena, now that they're officially calling it Pioneer. Mono Red Aggro, this is 23% of the metagame by their judgment. Izzet Phoenix, 16.3%. Mono Black Midrange, 11.6%. Jund Sacrifice, 6%. Mono White Token, 6%. Rakdos Prowess, 4%. But that could be a fun one to play. Let's see if that has Rakdos Charm in it. Doesn't look like it. There's no room for Rakdos Charm here. We're just all mice. It's like all... look at all these standard cards. You have to go to Infuriate to find a card. Wait, is Infuriate in standard, actually? Claim to Fame. Okay, there's a card that's not in standard. And Kimono faces Kakazan. And, of course, the mana base gets a little better, and you get a few more toys in the sideboard. Moving on to Pauper. See what's going on in Pauper today. Burn on top with 11% of the metagame. Blue Terror with 8.8%. Grixis Affinity. Oh, by the way, there was a Pauper on Magic Arena. There was a Arena Pauper thing, and I built a Grixis Affinity list. Went 3-0 with it. It got retweeted or reskeeted by Fire Shoes himself. So if you're not following me on Blue Sky, you could have follow to find deck lists like that. But yes, Grixis Affinity, Madness, Burn, Jund Wildfire, Elves, Gruul Ramp, Bogles, Mono Blue Fairy, Mono White Aggro. And it looks like pretty healthy metagame here. It's a Pauper Challenge won by Turbo Fog. That might be kind of fun to look at. Crypt Rats, Darkness, Stream of Thought, Toxin Analysis. A lot of one-ofs here. Eviscerator's Insight, Fanatical Offering, Moment's Peace, Reckoner's Bargain, Respite, Tangle, Weather the Storm, 2 of those, Campfire, Ichor Wellspring, Lembas, Heaped Harvest, a bunch of gates in the mana base, some Colony Gardens. Sideboard has Crop Rotation, Pyroblast, love to see it. Takes me back. Snuff Out apparently is common. It originally printed at common, because that showed it at uncommon, which is, you know, it's a great commander card. Card you can cast for free. Okay, that's Pauper, Legacy, Oops All Spells, Vintage, Mono White, Initiative. Boy, Initiative. The most busted stuff goes to live here in Vintage. Penny Dreadful, they have stacks. I don't think there's been any. Well, actually, no. Look, there was a Penny Dreadful Sundays, won by Excruciator Combo. There you go. And yeah, there were a couple of Penny Dreadful Sundays. Simic Nadu went 5-1, life gain midrange 4-1. So that is the metagame for this week. I'll check in and see if anybody has any comments or questions. Nur Ekmal's been playing Pioneer since they launch, facing Affinity 24/7, playing Izzet Control. Try Luris Aggro, a companion deck. Oh yeah, Lurrus, yeah, playing Lurrus and Pioneer would be fun. I would, so yeah, if is there interest in Pioneer, I would love to be making a bunch of Pioneer videos now that Pioneer is officially supported. I'm still kind of down on like, how are you going to brew new decks if you don't have the whole card pool? That's the thing. You kind of want access to the whole card pool. You just have to trust them that, like, okay, it's everything they haven't put on, just like there's a strictly better version that you would never want to have 8 copies of the thing or of the effect. You know, and who knows when they print new stuff that might make old cards that were irrelevant suddenly relevant. So I would love to see them just, you know, I would almost just love to see them, if they can program cards, just like run all the cards through that just go in automatically and are easy. Like anything vanilla should just be in, you know? And anything with like just a couple keywords, a French vanillas as they call them, those should just go in immediately. So they're just there. And then the other stuff, you know, if it really takes a lot of programming time and stuff, I get it. But I would love to just see them really push to have one-to-one parity between Pauper and Arena. And then I feel like you can call it Pioneer. Not until then. That's my personal feeling. What are your feelings? What are your thoughts? Let me know. I got to get back to work, but I hope you enjoyed this summary of the metagame. I've been Manadad, reminding you Magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it.